Hey everybody, 47 here, and welcome back to the channel with another set of Marquee Matchup predictions. And last week we got two of the big ones, and Roma versus Inter, if I'm not mistaken. No, not Inter. Roma versus who was Napoli? Roma versus Napoli, and Arsenal versus Chelsea. This week that we are predicting is very tricky, to be honest, because there is no good game. The best game that I saw was Arsenal versus Villa. But I don't believe EA is going to put Arsenal 3 times in a row. If they do that, it's something new that never happened before. I'm pretty sure it never happened before. I've seen like 1 week this, then no, then another week, then no, or 2 weeks in a row, then no, and then another. But no, I don't think it's going to be Arsenal. So let's go. First of all, as a Benfica fan, I need to put Benfica versus Sporting. Yeah, so this is basically second place Sporting versus third place Benfica. I honestly don't think it's risky, but again, it's a Liga Portugal game, so it's mandatory for me to put in. Then Barcelona versus Betis. This game could be the second or the third segment, and I'll explain why I think it might be the third segment. So I'm picking Barcelona versus Betis. Why? Because last week we had Betis versus Sevilla, which is a derby. It's the derby of the Andalusia, and they snubbed that one. And to be honest, they didn't put better games than this one, than the Betis versus Sevilla. To be honest, I'm thinking that they snubbed that one because they want to put Barca versus Sevilla because they are fairly close. Well, not fairly close. What I'm going to say is Barcelona is in first place. They need to win and to keep the lead, and the Betis is like fourth place or something like that, or fifth place. It's like right there. I think that's it. I might be wrong, but I don't think that's going to be. If you want to risk on this one, try to get Betis players because the requirements might be like maximum of 5 players or something. Oh, sorry, maximum of 5 clubs or something. Then my third pick. Okay, this one. Why did I put it so big? Because Napoli plays versus Juve, and on paper, Juve is a better Juve versus Napoli is a better game than Como versus Inter. The problem is Napoli was on last week's marquee matchup. Okay, Napoli is in last week's marquee matchup, and the other problem is Como isn't such a big of a name. Inter is, but Como has been a surprise, yes. Well, would you say it's a surprise if the second year you're doing good as well? Because last year they did great as well. That's why I'm thinking they might go with Betis versus Barcelona here because there are two teams with bigger names. So that's the risk. I went with Inter versus Como because yes. So Napoli needs to win to keep up with the lead. Como needs to win to keep up on the top spots. Como winning, and they will have the same points as Inter and Roma. And if Roma loses to if Roma loses, like let's say Roma and Bologna loses, Como will go probably to third place. I don't know how it is, but it would be great. Like imagine here they go from sixth to third, and the same thing could happen with Inter. Inter could drop from third to sixth if Roma, Bologna, and Como win. So there is a lot on the line, and it's almost half of the season. Things are starting to shape up. Then my last pick will be City versus Sutherland. Like I said, it could have been Arsenal versus Villa. Okay, it could be. It might be. But again, they are way too far apart. There's 6 points, okay? It would be Arsenal 3 times in a row. And that's what I'm afraid of. I don't want to say Arsenal again because I've never seen them put a team 3 times in a row. I never seen it. So I'm going, and if Arsenal, let's say Arsenal loses, it's not gonna affect Arsenal at all. It will affect Villa, but I don't think that's gonna be. I won't call it a marquee matchup if one team won't be harmed, won't lose spots if they don't win, or even if they draw. So yeah, I went with City versus Sunderland, and we will see, because if City loses, they will go until sixth place, probably from second to sixth. If Chelsea, Aston Villa, and Brighton win, and Sunderland obviously win, if Sunderland wins, they go up. But if Sunderland loses, they can drop to the half of the table. You see, if City, Liverpool, and Palace wins, of these three, I believe Palace to win the most, to be honest. But they can drop a lot. So there is a lot on the line for this one. And because Arsenal has been twice, and I don't believe they're going to put three in a row. And like I said, if they put it three in a row, it's the first time they can do that. We will see. Anyway, guys, these are my predictions for Marquee Matchup predictions. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like, a comment, hit the bell icon. You know, all those good things make us grow. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.